What's up, people? Nut Punch here. So I'm coming back with some new games I picked up from Early Access a while back, maybe about a month or so ago, and this one came up called UNDEADLY. This is I guess you could call it like an XCOM or front mission slash maybe some other games I played previously called, one would be called End State, and that is kind of like a tactical. You send a couple of units on to go and kill other units. They have different type of skill sets, weaponry, armor, and so on. This is basically like that. The only thing is that you have 3 action points per turn per character, and once the character's done, you end the turn and the next character comes on. You have different types of skills that you can upgrade and get from your different base of operations. For example, your base of operations, you have to get supplies, you have to get med kits, you have to get some other things for your workshop, factory, and the armory so you can make better weapons, more ammunition, some better utility, maybe some core stuff, and even upgrade some things from your different skill tree. The thing is about this game that I don't really understand when I first played it was, what do you exactly do in it? Well, there's objectives and there's survivor goals, but they're not really a mandatory thing to do. They're an optional thing to do while you're going out and scavenging. Essentially, every single turn that passes is an hour or until the next day happens. And once it gets dark into becoming night, then all the zombies come out. They come a little bit faster, more aggressive, and then these things called the portals or rifts will spawn them in, different waves upon waves of enemies. Now, is there a limit to them? Depends upon the survivor goal or what the mission actually says. You could just keep killing them until the next day, and then they should all be burned up by the sun if they're still around. You can drop them to the ground, like there's different ways of stopping a zombie. One, headshots. Obviously, if you shoot them in the head, it'll kill them. The other way is by blowing off their lower section and turning them into a crawler. You can do that with grenades, traps, shotguns, anything that could shred, and that'll drop them down to a crawler. The other thing about this game that I like is that other than upgrading your survivor, you got to make sure that your survivor is covered by others and that you're sending them in a group, because if they're all by themselves, there's always that possibility that some zombie will come out of nowhere and instantly kill you because he's a heavy or a special zombie that has high damage. That happened to me twice. I lost 3 survivors. One, because I didn't have any idea where he was and it was foggy. What happens at night when you try to go fight stuff in the dark without the proper equipment. And a zombie was in a doorway and he just smacked my guy, instantly killing him. So I couldn't do nothing about it. You can heal them up if you take them to the hospital, but you have to use meds in order to do that, and you don't have an infinite supply. That's why you have to go out and find stuff. The other thing is that when you go and use these different types of guns, you can switch between melee weapons and range weapons. Range weapons do have, of course, different ranges. Like shotguns will go maybe like 15, 20 meters and then shred anything that's underneath that, but beyond it doesn't do anything. Pistols go a little bit farther, but don't really have that much damage. Rifles are a lot better, but don't have enough ammunition. But if you want to switch in between, you do have melee weapons like machetes, pipes, bats, and so on, and you have another skill called On Guard. And what it does is that it allows you to take one action point, and when you're done using your main hand weapon or moving, it'll make your guy into a defensive stance and attack anything that comes near him using a melee weapon. So there's different skills that are pretty nice to use for the specific character you're playing as. For example, the one with the double-barreled shotgun. If that one is used specifically, that shotgun can be shot at the same time, both barrels. And that is a specific skill that he has. So the game's got quite a bit of stuff to go for it. Again, it did kind of feel bare bones at first because I didn't know what I was doing exactly. And I didn't understand that you can go and salvage stuff from like people's homes. For example, you can go up to like a TV stand or something that's highlighted in blue, and it'll let you loot and salvage stuff like TV remote, smartphones, tin cans, nails, anything really that has like a cog wheel, and then you could salvage for it. And that will pass per turn. You won't get it immediately because they're trying to search for stuff. That's what the salvaging in the bar means. The other thing in the game is that you have something called critical zone or a strike zone. And what it does is if you press C, it lets you see the sweet spots of those specific zombies. you could shoot at or do a bunch of damage to. I think it's kind of like a way of finding out the critical portion of shooting or doing damage to high-end units, because it seems like it works pretty well against normal zombies when I'm shooting at them with a pistol. That being said, in terms of my closing thoughts about what I think about this game, the game's $20. It's early access, so of course it's going to be in development and more stuff's going to happen to it. I do like the idea of it being like a wave-based, like, tactical game similar to XCOM or End State. And instead of, like, having one unit, you control 5 or 6. Now, that's kind of a lot starting out until you realize that you need people for workshop stuff, doctorate stuff, being able to heal your guys faster, or being able to deal with deeper wounds. So they'll have their different skill sets there, and you have to keep them back at the base. Not everybody can go out and salvage. So, bunch of stuff there going on for Undeadly. Anyway, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been another video. Thanks for watching, as per the usual. And I'm still making some videos for other games. I'm working on Mortal Sin right now, and I'm thinking about trying some VR games that are popping out, too, of early access. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.